good, YouTube? Today I'm gonna be going over how 30NICKK produced None to Me 2 by Kankan. I've seen a lot of people do remakes on the first None to Me, and while that beat is cool, I think None to Me 2 is like 100 times better. And I haven't seen anybody do a remake on None to Me 2. I guess they just like can't get like the lead down or whatever. Also, there's a couple instruments in here that may be like kind of off, but I think for the most part I got it pretty accurate. The only reason I couldn't get certain sounds is because I think 30NICKK used plugins like probably WaveStation or JV1080, which are two really good electric piano plugins that a lot of people use for like plugging beats. So I'm pretty sure that's what he used, but I just use Purity and Expand, you know, for like all the sounds. So yeah, I'm gonna go over it and yeah, enjoy. So here's the FLP. Let's just get straight into it. First thing I did was put these chords down using this Mark 1 electric piano from Expand, and here's what it sounds like. And all these chords is really just major and minor, sevenths and ninths. So this song is in G sharp minor. So if I just open a sampler track and then drag in G sharp minor, you'll see all these notes are in the same scale. So in order to build a seventh chord, all you got to do is put the root note down, which in this case is G sharp, since that's the root note of the scale. And then you're gonna place down a note every other note. So basically you got this G sharp, you skip a note, and then you place this B right here, you skip another note and place this D sharp, and that right there is a triad or a fifth chord, but it's usually called a triad. This would be a G sharp minor, and the reason it's minor is because you can see right here there's 2 notes between these and 3 notes between here. So a minor chord goes 2, 3, and then a major chord would go 3, 2. This right here is a triad, but once you skip another note and then you add this F sharp on top, that turns it into a 7th chord, and so on and so forth. So it goes 5th, 7th, 9th, 11th, it just keeps going. So right here, this is an example of a 9th chord, because it goes, you have your triad right here, then you have this other one that adds on and makes it a 7th, and then you add another one, this little E right here, that makes it into a 9th chord. So that's basically all it is. And then there's this little roll kind of right here that, like, if you listen real closely, you can hear it in the song. So yeah, that's pretty much it on the chords. For effects, I just put this EQ on. I took some lows out. I raised a little bit of the mids and the highs to make it more present. And then I added this chorus to give it more like a lush, wider sound. The next thing I added is just this Legato String from Purity. And it's just playing this note throughout the whole pattern. And this is used a lot in a lot of different types of music. Obviously it's used in plug-in beats like it is here, but it was used a lot in like old soul music from the 70s and stuff, and like R&B and all that. It's just you add like one note as long as it fits with all the chords. Usually they'll put like the bass note, but in this case 30NICKK put it as C sharp and it worked out. So whatever works, just if it sounds good throughout the whole loop, then you just put it there, and like you really don't have to do anything. You could just have this note stretching throughout the whole time. Sometimes when I make plug-in beats, I like to like change notes, but as long as you have the right note, it works when you just put one note all the way through. So yeah, as far as effects on that, I just put this EQ, taking out some lows and raising some of these highs to make it more present. Next thing in the song, it's kind of hard to hear, but if you listen, there's these Pizzicato strings from Purity, and it sounds like really weird by itself, but it works when it's in context with the rest of the beat. So this is what these sound like. So yeah, it's really weird, but it just fits for whatever reason. And then I just put this EQ on, taking out a little bit of the highs and then taking out some of the lows. The next thing I added was this pan flute here from Purity. I'm pretty sure this isn't the exact preset that he used, but this is like as close as I can get. And this just like plays in the background, so this is how it sounds. So yeah, the effects on that is just the EQ taking out the highs and the lows. The reason I took out all these highs is because it's not the exact preset. This is a pan flute preset, so like you hear like the higher like breath frequencies. So if you listen without the EQ and then with the EQ, it sounds more like it does in the original song. The next sound is my favorite sound in the beat, which is the lead. It's just a simple sign from Purity, and I took up this attack knob just a little bit because like it had like a clicking sound at the beginning, so I just took that up a little bit. And I had to slow the song down like really slow to like get all these little, like, I like to call them flare notes. I don't know what they're called, but it just plays the note for like a second just, and then it goes back to the original note. So this is what that sounds like. But yeah, that was a pain to try to get down, but I got it, and I think it sounds pretty accurate to the song. And then again, I just took some lows and highs out. A sine wave is really like only takes up the middle frequencies, but I just like to take the lows and the highs out just to clean that up so there's no extra noise there. Then I added this lead right here, which is just the PW for president lead that like everybody uses in Purity. And this is what that sounds like. And then there's another pattern playing that lead just like twice in the song, and this is what that sounds like. And as you can see, there's like some volume changes in there, and I couldn't do that in the piano roll. Purity wouldn't let me. So what I did, I put this gross beat on that I just made that just has it like swelling in. I tried to make it sound like as accurate as possible. And then I put this EQ, taking out some lows and just a little bit of chorus because it sounded like it had a little bit in the song. It probably didn't, but I just like the way it sounded. So then the last melodic aspect was this electric guitar. And this may not be the exact preset, but this is just as close as I can get. Once again, it's just this distorted lead from Expand, and this is what that sounds like. So yeah, with the effects on that, I just put this EQ that's taking out a tiny bit of the highs and raising these kind of mid-high frequencies, and then taking out some low frequencies just to try to make it sound more accurate. And then I put this chorus on once again to make it like sound a little more like the song, and another EQ, take out some highs and lows because it sounds kind of in the background, so I didn't want too many high frequencies in there. So onto the drums, I just used this Zadro Spins 808, and as you can see, it has this little loop point right here. So basically it plays like as long as you want it to. I'm pretty sure this is the exact 808. I could be wrong. I don't know if you use the Zangang 808, but like this sounded a lot more accurate, so I just used this, and this is what that sounds like. The next thing I added was just this Glumboy hi-hat, and I'm pretty sure that's just a variation of the hit one hi-hat, just with the out knob turned up. So this is what that sounds like. So yeah, it's pretty simple. It just repeats on the second half. The next thing is this Glumboy clap right here, and it's just a regular like low pass clap. And as you can see, there's a clap missing here. That's because there's a rim shot that hits here rather than the clap, and it's just on this part. So this is what the clap sounds like. And then there's a counter snare. I just used this Glumboy snare right here. I used a lot of Glumboy sounds on here. Glumboy, his drum kit just has a lot of like essential plug and B sound. So I definitely suggest y'all check that out. So I'm gonna play this with the metronome, and here's the pattern. So yeah, it just adds to the bounce really, along with this rim right here. It's just this surreal gang rim. A lot of people call it like the Benji Code rim or whatever. Yeah, 30NICKK uses that on a lot of his beats, and so does Benji Code. I'm gonna just play it with the metronome on so y'all can hear like where it's actually placed at. So here's that. So yeah, as you can see right here is where it replaces that clap. The next thing is this chant right here. It's just like a regular like Zay chant, but it has like a kind of tail to it, and it just plays on every beat except for this fourth one right here. And this is a technique that was used in like a lot of old beats, like 2013 like trap beats, like the whole Lex Luger era and everything. But he just like kept it real quiet just to serve like in the background, so it's not really like on the forefront. The next thing is just this like stupid cool chains effect. Yeah, 30NICKK uses this in like all his beats. I guess it's just like a signature thing. The next thing is this hi-hat tick effects right here. And it sounds like really unique in the beat because like whatever effects are on it, it just sounds cool. So what I tried to do, I noticed like at the end, instead of the pitch like going high, it kind of stayed relatively the same. So what I did, I just put this pitch automation right here, so it kind of like keeps it the same. And then for effects on that, I just put this fruity delay 3 and I turned it like half down. I raised some of the highs because it just like sounds really like different in the song. So I just try to replicate that to the best of my ability. So yeah, that's basically the whole beat. Here's the arrangement if you just want to see that. And then there's this fade out at the end. Really nothing complicated. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoy it. Hope y'all learned a thing or two. I'm gonna try to like keep up with these videos. I just got like a lot with school and everything. All my social media links and everything will be in the description. Yeah, so appreciate y'all watching. That's it. Peace.